Hi everyone, I'm Ashok Kumar. In this episode, we are going to continue Twitter Fabric integration for searching tweets, hashtags, and other tweet feeds. In the earlier episode of fourth and part 1, we have learned how to integrate Twitter login. Now, in this episode, we are going to take it to the next level with the action bar search integration. And with the action bar search, if user types any string, that should give a result of list of tweets. So let's get started. So if you have watched my earlier episode, so you will be in the same page. So this is the stuff that we have completed. So we have our Twitter API keys and secret keys, and we have created our login button. We have toasted our logged in user's name. Now, so let's continue with the next screen, where once it is logged in, user is supposed to go to the next screen. So I'll create an activity. Very straightforward. A blank activity. Call it as search activity. Make your spelling makes more sense. So once activity is created, I'll let you know what to do. So keep this activity just like that. Close everything. Close your what are the other tabs that you have, if you have previews, everything. Close it and keep your main activity. Once your main activity is authorized, instead of toasting it, will take user to the next activity. So how do we do it? It's just a simple intent class. Declare an intent instance. So I'll make it as just a simple I or search intent. Now take it to your search activity class. It's not I, it's search intent, and this I should be capital. So make sure you don't do the same mistakes again. And this will take user when he is successfully logged in. It'll take him to the next screen. So that's it for our previous good old main activity class. So from now, so we have to do a little configuration to search in our action bar. So that action bar will allow user to enter string and pop that string into a list of tweet feeds. So for that, create another folder level here, a simple directory, call it as XML. So in XML, if you're not able to find that, create new Android resources file. Instead of values, creating XML. Make it as the name which should make meaningful to you. So my searchable class is here, and this is not the code that you have to put here, except that encoding version of the XML delete all the codes. So there you need to write a class called searchable. It's an XML class, and for that you need to mention an XML namespace, otherwise it will not recognize the searchable class. Okay, my namespace is automatically generated thanks to Android Studio. I'll give a simple hint called search tweets. So this hint is going to be displayed in the search bar once you click on that search icon. So that's it. If you want to display your app name in that, you can use a couple of searchable tags properties, but I'm not going to use all that. So once you have configured your XML searchable class, XML, you need to give it as a metadata to your manifest. How do we do it? So we use a metadata tag, and we supply name as exactly this. This name is being derived from the android.app.searchable class. Next, we have to address our XML in the resources property of the same metadata tag. So simple at XML folder that we have created and the file name that we have created. It's simple searchable. So you can control space it in Windows and command space it in, or option space it in Mac. So our metadata is configured. So next, just copy the same metadata and add it into your application scope. So that's it. Your manifest is configured to work with your action bar search activity. Later this, very simple configuration to fetch the action bar searched query string. After that, we use Twitter search service class and we use Twitter view adapter to display all the tweets. So let's get started with that. So instead of app compat activity, I would definitely love to extend it to the deprecated action bar activity. So why am I doing this? So action bar search was available only till the API level 21 or maybe 22. In the 23, it's definitely a deprecated class. I recommend not to use it, but in this case, we are searching using action bar, so we have to extend our class to action bar activity. So for search, we need a couple of variables. Let's declare them. So let's comment it for your comfort level, like user search setup, and next declare your variable private boolean flag loading. We really have to take care of the XML part of this class. I'll do it very soon. Let's declare all the variables that would be necessary to handle the search bar activity thing. So end of search result, once search is end, will enable this flag to be true. So make sure you're following the Java standard, you are using camel case. I would rather recommend it. I'll take a static string called search query. and I can pass anything as a default thing. So let's pass Lady Gaga. So now I want tweet view adapter, something which is used in our list view control. Like all this Twitter will have a link and have an hashtag and have an image. All this is being packaged into a custom adapter already, and we are going to use that. And the next thing would be private final string for such result type. So that should be a static final string. So search result type. So it's like this. Such result type would be recent or topmost. So you will definitely find that in Twitter Fabric documentation. If you go here, if you want to see the show tweets and adapters, in this documentation level, you would find that recent, what parameter you should pass in this string. You will definitely find it. And next, I'm going to use a limitation for my list view to load only about 20 tweets. I just don't want to blast my list view with hundreds of Lady Gaga fans hitting my Twitter app. So I'll give a search count as I just need to load about 20 tweets. So that's it. My all the variables which I'm going to use in the class is ready. So later this will take care of our activity XML controls for this. So let me introduce two more variables for the scenario, such as maximum user ID. We are taking the user ID from the last session. So for that, we can take the max ID or Twitter ID. So that's a simple ID for that. And a simple list view. We haven't decided yet whether we are going to use recycle view or list view. So I'll probably use a list view. So that's it. Next, I'm getting into our activity XML. So getting into that is very simple. Press your control key in Windows, command key in Mac, and press on the activity XML. It'll open that file entirely, and you can format it in Windows by pressing Alt Control Alt Shift and L in Windows, Command Alt L in Mac. So it reformats in a beautiful way. So there, I'll create a simple list view. So list view, I'm gonna match the parent for the width, and I'm gonna wrap the content, or probably I'll match the parent as well for the height. My machine is pretty slow because of this screencast tool, so don't mind, just follow along. You would definitely love the final output. So I'm gonna probably give an ID as tweet list, or anything that you would love to give, you can give it. I'll give it as tweet search. So yeah, I'm gonna remove all the padding in the layout, which is looking a little ugly. So this list occupies my entire border of the layout. After that, I can reformat with the same keys, and I can add one more progress bar to show whether user is, I mean, whether did we get the output, or are we still waiting for Twitter to respond for the things, all that. So progress bar is kind of an indication whether user gets the data or not. All that will be notified. So I'm gonna match the parent with the height. And I'm gonna make it center horizontal. And I'm gonna make it vertical horizontal as well. So you can see this progress bar is already here. So if we make it center vertical, it will be much more accurate. So then I'm gonna give up an ID as loading, something which is simple, and I will make visibility gone here only, because I can control this visibility through Java. So I'm just removing the view out of here. So my progress bar is set, my list view is set. So totally our activity XML for such activity is set up. So now we have about 5 to 6 minutes of program, which is at any cost has to be completed to get tweets. So let's get started. So once you have declared all the XML part and your user variable setup, then you kind of need to check your styles. So remove this dark action bar and just make it as app compat.light. So this dark action bar has search bar inflating issue. I have tried it with a couple of machines and I was not happy with the dark action bar search thingy. So it would be very nice if you go to theme.appcompat.light. So things would look much more well crafted. So now here let's set progress bar indetermination, whether if we are not receiving any output, we should make our progress bar rotating for an indefinite timing. So I'm making as true, and later to this I'll create a method to handle my intent called HandleIntent, and I'll pass intent to that. And next I'll create adapter that we have declared out there with new tweet view adapter. And we need to pass the context, so that should be your current activity. Search activity dot this. So that's the context for that adapter. And next I'll initialize my search list to my list that I have declared there, tweet search list. Or probably you have remember we gave it as tweet search as an ID, and I'm gonna cast it to the list view. So our list view is ready, and I will set my search list an adapter, set adapter. So adapter would be adapter that we have declared out there. So after this So we can set an empty view as we have done it in all the other list view practices. Instead, we have not received any data from Twitter API servers. Then we set empty view, and I'll be setting it to our loading thing, loading widget progress bar, or dot id dot loading. Empty view is set. Next, so I'll create final search service Twitter class. This is from Fabric SDK. So you can see while I typing, Studio is suggesting it already. I'll create service here. After that, I'll just instantiate with the Twitter class, and I'll get the client, get API client, then get search service. So we have got the search service as well right now. Now we have to initialize this search service instance called service to search.tweets, and we have to pass our search query here. Search query would be our Lady Gaga thingy. So it accepts couple of strings basically, and I don't know why you have to pass couple of null things that's been suggested in Twitter documentation. You can go through, you have to pass 3 null and again a search result type. So it does means something, so you have to go and figure out what is this. If you come to this tweets method, it'll tell the generics that it will accept, and then I'll give my search count, and then again null null. Later to that, I will pass my max ID and true, and a new callback. New callback. So make sure you are going to choose a right perfect class. So it should be Twitter. You should be passing Twitter search. Yes. So this is the class that you need to send. So send search as a generic here. Search service is not a right option. It should be search. So once if you send search, so implement methods. So it will take care of implementing 2 major methods to handle your queries. So one is on success and another one is on failure. So your max ID is declared as private long, correct, and copy the same one, paste here. So I forgot the comma there, so that's the reason I was getting max ID error. Um, So this max ID I have figured out, just copy the same ID that you have declared out there and paste it here, and you should be good to go. I had a capital D in the end of max ID. Once everything is done, you can align it if you want to. by pressing Shift Alt Control and L, or Shift Alt Command L in Windows Mac. So next, once if you get a search success, now you need to set progress bar visibility to false, because we have enabled it out there. So we will make visibility false so that it goes out of the view, and make list of tweet so take the result and pass the tweets object in it. So how do we pass it? Go to data in that and pass tweets. So that's it. So now that you have your search tweets list, and then set up your adapter and get tweets. So that's all built-in Twitter adapter facility. We should be happy for that. And thanks to Twitter Fabric team. Now add all tweets that you have downloaded from search service instance, and then later adapter dot notify whenever your list changes with its dataset. Just you have to call this method so that your list updates spontaneously. So your list will get updated spontaneously, and then if write a condition in case your tweet size if it's greater than 0, make your max ID that you have declared out there max ID equals tweets dot get tweet size -1 dot ID and -1. So this should take care of a lot of list view loading effect and basically performance. It loads the tweet size and it gives the proper view control over the your list view. End of search result, make it to true that we have declared. Hope you guys remember, we have a variable here telling end of search result, and I am enabling it to true. Okay, so after that, else you can call flag loading also true. Oh, sorry, false. Okay, so now we are set. So if it's failures, if your tweet search service fails to get the result, so toast user at least a simple notification thing that he understands something went wrong and he should be doing something to fix it. Maybe he should have passed the wrong tweet hashtag or something. So once this is done, fail to your tweets toast dot lengthline dot show. This is a simple toast syntax that is going to be display a simple haptic message over the view. So after this, so we can create our progress bar if we are not getting any data, so we have to make it as set progress bar visibility to false so that it keeps on loading out there and shows a simple filter to load tweet. So after this we need to go to our menu class and menu in search. There what did I do? Just undo. There, here in the item, so your ID is action settings by default. Make it as menu search or give it anything that you are comfortable with. And title, so I'm removing the title here, so I'll be passing a simple string telling search. And then here in your app scope, in this app scope, so there is a built-in class with action bar activity called action view class. Probably you should be getting it in suggestion. If you're not, you can type action view class. So that error has gone, and the action view class is exactly has to be the same thing what I am typing right now. It should be android.support.v7.searchView, because this is what we are trying to implement. So instead of show as action never, make it as always. So that's it, our menu is configured. Now here in ID, if it's search setting instead of search action settings, make it as menu search, then return should be true. Yes, so this handles the situation. So now I need to override a method called on new intent. So this is an overridden method. Okay, so we got that method. On new intent, I'll set intent to the intent instance that this activity receives. Basically it means all the intent stack, activity stack, speaks to this on new intent method. So next you need to call or handle this method, basically exactly same method which we haven't created. Instead of get intent, so we are receiving intent, so we will pass intent to this. So this is done, and next on option create menu, so here we need to handle a little more about 5 lines of code to handle SuchView. So just remove all of it, take menu inflator class and inflator and use get menu inflator method. And inflator dot inflate, pass r dot menu dot and your current menu context, which is menu search, and a menu which is this generic type. Okay, later to this there is a class called SuchManager which basically handles the search view in action bar activity. So you can call get system service. Yes, get system service. You have to pass the context dot search service. So you have to cast it to the SuchManager class, and then use the same SuchManager to load your SuchView. So SuchView is again a class. SuchView. SuchView can be again using these methods can be so you have to call get action view. So that's it. So you have to import it by pressing option enter in Windows, alt enter in Windows, option enter in Mac. So import this. I just have to cast my code to Android SuchView, and then I'll use the SuchView to set searchable info, and there I'll pass my SuchManager. SuchManager with get searchable info, get component in name. So that'll do, and then I'll give a search hint. If you want, you can write this line of code, otherwise not necessary. Set query hint, that is enter tweets to search. So you can give anything here which will display in the menu. So I'll return super dot on create options menu, and I'll return the menu. So action bar search is configured, and now we just have to write this HandleIntent method. Create that method just like that there, make it as void, private, everything is correct. So then if intent dot, so if intent dot action search, action search dot equals intent dot get action, then take your search query string and pass it through your intent, string extra search search manager dot get query. It's just a query. So that's it. So for whether you receive the query or not, you can log it here. Search result. So everything is done. We need just 1 minute to just to compile this program. So just pass search and get this search query in the log. So everything is done. So I'm just compiling the program. Till my Gradle syncs, I'll get ready. So our program is compiled successfully and it's giving an option to choose the running device, and I'll choose my Utility Ventures Eureka and provide a screen. So let's see what happens. App is inflated with the light action bar, which we have changed in the theme. So it's loading. So it's asking my Twitter app authorization. Authorized it. So it has loaded our default tweet, which is Lady Gaga. So you can see Yes Gaga, Lady Gaga, Lady Gaga fans. All these feeds are from the defaults thing. So let's search for Modi. So what's happening? So once after typing our hashtag in the search view, so I press the enter, keyboard goes away, and we are not able to see any update. So intentionally, I have created a simple mistake. So just to make sure, end of the day, end of the program, end of the video, that you will come to manifest and you will take the one more permission for taking the action view from the default searchable class. So how does that works? So just name called android dot app dot so default searchable. So that's it, and value should be your package address and your Twitter search activity class. So if you're not able to type it properly, copy the activity name in the manifest. And one more thing is intent filter with the action you can do a quick search with Android Studio. So this should do the next thing. I'm compiling it. So selecting the running device. It's installing. Once it is installed, it'll load. So I'll just log in with Twitter. So your default Lady Gaga would appear defaultly, and you can search recent queries about Modi, or you can search for Karina, or you can even search for your Twitter ID if you have one, or search for anything that would matter which is available in Twitter. So that's it. So end of the episode. So thanks for watching, and please do subscribe and like our videos and comment on videos. And as a later update, in the searchable class, do not forget to add the label of your app name. So that will control a lot of string manipulations in action bar search. So just make sure yourself that you are adding this string, and please do subscribe to Android ABCD, and please do like our videos. Thanks a lot.